Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on another driving edition called Driving Angry. So when I start flipping people the finger, it's going to be like a 6 shooting effect, guys. Like bing, 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 bing. All right, because that's what people bring out of me when I drive. It's why I try to walk to work a lot. But anyway, let's get to the video. So today's video is going to be question everything about the vaccine. Everything. There is not one thing about this vaccine that sounds remotely good. Nothing. It sounds like more than control, if you know what I mean. Now, the title is Question Everything because I want to keep these videos live as long as possible. And then, if they shut it down, there's still Rumble and BitChute to watch this video on. Nonetheless, guys, this vaccine doesn't sound good at all. Here's why. One, the short duration of testing for this vaccine. Doctors are saying, well, they did ample amount of testing on fucking who, right? So come to find out, it was South Americans, poor South Americans, they were testing this vaccine on. Anywhere between 30 to 60,000. I'm pretty sure they also tested in other countries as well. But here's the problem. Upon, again, more investigation, the actual kind of testing they did is unknown. So they tested on 30,000 to 60,000 people. Did they give them the vaccine and then throw them into a room full of COVID and see if they contracted it? How do we know it works? As of right now, they only tested for immediate side effects. They didn't test it on long term because long term means years, not months, not weeks, years. So there's no data on that. So now we have to sit here and wait for that bullshit to come out. You have doctors who keep saying they think and it might work. No doctor is giving you 100% assurance. If you notice that, you have to pay attention to the lingo, guys. Pay attention to what they are saying and how they are saying it. That is the most important thing you can do for yourself right now, is figure out what mumbo jumbo they're saying and then make the decision for yourself. But right now, there's nothing positive about this virus. Now, Dr. Barton Hayes, who's one of the COVID vaccine experts, how the hell can you be an expert inside of, I don't know, let's say 3 months or 8 months? Rather, 8 months when they said they were going, because they said 9, but it's actually 8. So they gave them a month to get their paperwork together. And then on the second month, they started developing the vaccine. But there's no actual data on it, right? This Dr. Barton Hayes says that it might work. If you were involved from the inception of this vaccine, why are you still using the lingo might and may work? A lot of doctors are using that and this doesn't make sense, and that should worry you. It should worry you because they don't fucking know. They are not sure. There's a fucking problem. All right, so now, where do you go from there? Just don't take the vaccine. And if you really, 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 really need the vaccine, then take it. But guys, the side effects are going to affect 10 to 15% of the population. 10 to 15% of people who take it will be affected by the side effects. Now, they said mild side effects, and they said you might have a weaker effect. Might have a weaker effect. Again, guys, look at the words they're using, mights and maybes, not definites. So now, here's the problem. COVID is killing less than 2% or less than 1%, right? The numbers change, but as of right now on the worldmeter.info, it's less than 2% of the population is being killed by the COVID, killed. Now you are infecting people with a vaccine that's going to do more, I guess, damage, if you will, to 10 to 15% of the population versus the 2% that is killing. So you're going to put more people through short-term hardships, if you will, which is, they said, 24 to 48 hours of the side effects, that is, versus the 2% that are dying. There's a fucking problem there. You're willing to put more people through discomfort than people that are dying from it. That makes no sense. It's ass backwards if you ask me. It could put you out of commission for a couple days, and that's a couple days pay for people who work from day to day, paycheck to paycheck. And okay, I can't come in because I took the vaccine and now I'm out of work for 2 days. That's 2 days less pay. Now, yes, I grant it's 2 days less pay over the grand scheme, but nonetheless, it's still 2 days less pay you're getting because you took a vaccine that's going to affect you a certain way. Now, some people won't be affected at all, and some people will be affected. And then there's the people they're not addressing. They're not addressing those who are going to go through the bad side effects. 10 to 15% of the people will suffer from, and this is the doctor saying this, mild to no side effects, or weakened side effects, sorry. Well, what about the side that's going to have the heavy side effects? What about them, right? So there's a problem. They're not talking about the hard side effects. They keep talking about the lesson in the week. So again, listen to their lingo, guys. So like I said, there's zero assurance on the vaccine. Zero. None of them are going to give you 100% assurance. And then when doctors say might and maybe, that's zero assurance, guys. I want to hear, this thing's completely safe, and that's it. Granted that someone saying it's completely safe, again, it could be bullshit, right? It could be absolute bullshit, because how do we know it's completely safe? We don't. We're listening to the words of pharmaceutical companies. And Pfizer, guys, by the way, who has the most lawsuits with their drugs. Their drugs have damaged, killed, and hurt people, and they have the most lawsuits. You can look that up for yourselves. You do not have to take my word for it. You don't ever have to take my word for it. You can research this shit yourselves, guys. They have the most lawsuits, any pharmaceutical company, and we're supposed to fall in line and take their bullshit fucking vaccine because they said so, because the government told us to, and yet again, they are the most irresponsible pharmaceutical company out there. Again, do your research. All right, guys, so they're saying that they're going to be doing long-term monitoring for safety. All right, long-term monitoring, guys, for safety is the biggest fuck you I've ever heard, ever, for a vaccine. So they're going to sit there and say, well, we need to monitor this long term, so everyone who gets an injection or a shot, we're going to have to monitor them. So now, instead of saying some shit like, well, you know what, since we did our research, since we have enough data, we know that it's safe, we don't have to monitor you guys, we know that it's 100% safe. By the doctors saying that we have to do long-term monitoring to see the safety of this is a giant red flag. Why aren't the fuck is he walking in the streets for? Anyway, guys, sorry. So why aren't they just telling us, yo, you know what? Let's hold off on this, and then let's give it a little more time, and then we can test it out. No, they're going to do long-term monitoring. That's a giant red flag, guys. It's another red flag amongst this bullshit that you guys have to read between the lines. You have to. This vaccine is not safe, hands down. It's not speculation. They are all but telling us this, and they're telling you this in this manner, guys. They're telling you might, maybes, and we have to monitor. We got to see what happens, because they don't want to fucking get sued in court. Because if you try to sue them, if you get hurt, you have a vaccine injury, they could say, well, we said might and maybe, we weren't 100% sure. Most vaccine lawsuit, guys, gets thrown out in court. Most of them. There have been a couple that have won the battles, very few, but a couple of them have, most of them do not win. Pfizer will be exempt. Moderna will be exempt. So if there is a vaccine injury, they will be exempt from this. Know that. So again, keep that in mind in the back of your head when taking this vaccine. So when will this be available? Well, multiple doctors have different answers. And the reason why they have different answers is because now this is complete speculation. Hear me out. Complete speculation. I think they're going to try to make the masses desperate for this vaccine, so that people will wait online for it, because this next round of shutdowns and COVID spiking is going to be higher, so they say. But because they're not testing the flu anymore, they're testing for straight COVID, you're going to keep popping positive for COVID, especially with the nose swab. So That being said, I think they're going to try to have us, I need the virus, I need the vaccines now, I need the vaccine now, to assure that more people will get online. They know that 100% of us are not getting online. They know that. They know that forced vaccination is going to be a fight, because there's a lot of things. You can only go so far. You can only go so far with forced vaccinations, especially in this country. So keep that in mind with them telling you, well, the release date for the citizens, for everyone else, it's going to be anywhere between spring and fall, or late spring, late fall. So that's a large gap, guys. I'm not hearing anything about summer and fall. They're giving you 6 months from, let's say May to December, 7 months, whatever it is. These guys are trying to keep you desperate for this vaccine. There's a problem, a huge problem, guys. The vaccine seems to be not worth the risk. No vaccine is worth the risk, but this vaccine is not worth the risk. So here's the other issue. Once you get vaccinated, you're still going to have to wear a mask, and you're going to have to social distance. And they said we're probably going to have to do that for those who get vaccinated, probably into 2022. Okay, so now we're all taking this vaccination. They're estimating 140 million Americans are vaccinated by the middle of next year. But yet, into 2022, we're going to have to wear a mask and social distance. Something's not right with this vaccine. If this vaccine is 100% safe, like they said, then it should be effective immediately, or not immediately, 3 days, whatever it takes to enter your body, right? And then after that, it should be effective right away, right? So not immediately, but right away. So now we shouldn't worry about wearing a mask or social distancing if this vaccine works, right? Again, these doctors are saying this shit. The same doctors who are promoting it are also not going to take it. And only one doctor in Israel who said she's not taking it. After explaining how safe it was, she's not taking it. There's a problem. And again, guys, the syringe in the packet, the separate syringe in the packet, the COVID packet, that's a red flag. I'm going to say that again. The syringe in each COVID package that comes with a form and a card, vaccination card, and the syringe in the packet is a giant red flag. All I'm going to say is nanotechnology, Moderna, and Bill Gates. That's it. Do the math, do the research, you'll see where that goes. I'm not going to sit here and, like I said, create fear-mongering. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, listen to me, only me. Do your research. You're going to see where this goes. That's all I'm going to say. For those of you who need the vaccine because of your job, then you're going to have to take it and suck it up. But if you have to take it, AstraZeneca, I'm going to put the name down here. They're the ones they're using Hep A and the flu DNA to develop their vaccine. So if you had to take a vaccine and that one's out, I would suggest you take that one. If you absolutely have to. If you don't, fight tooth and nail. Fuck that. Because I've never seen a vaccine push like this one. The survival rate on this fucking virus is over 97, 98%. Survival rate. Hospitalizations is low this time around now too. And yet, though yes, hospitalization is probably going to go up, but you got to keep in mind the hospital numbers are skewed. So we don't know why they're being hospitalized for. I just read an article last night of a kid who died abruptly, because who doesn't die abruptly, right, of COVID. Yet he tested negative for COVID. So if he tested negative for COVID, why is the news article, the New York Post, by the way, saying that he died from COVID-related illnesses? Well, what is COVID-related illnesses if he didn't have any symptoms, he tested negative for COVID, and then he died? And so now they write up that he died from COVID. Guys, the fear-mongering is insane right now on the other side, right? So you have preppers who are going to fear-monger, obviously, but then you have the media fear-mongering too. So you're getting it from both ends, for those of you that follow, prepper channels. I refuse to do it. I'd rather give you guys the facts, all right? And that's where it lies. It lies with me showing you guys the facts. And that's all I want to do. And then I tell you guys, do the research, because you should not follow preppers on YouTube or any faction wholeheartedly. You should know your facts. You should challenge it. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Let me look it up. All right, guys. Anyway, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on podcasts, whatever streaming service you listen to. Follow me on there as well. Thank you for watching.